Hey everybody, my name is Chris Banks. I am the Director of Product Marketing here at Pyramid Analytics. It is a pleasure to be with you here today. And I am also here with the incredible Joe Bovian. Joe, say hi.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining today.
Today is all about destination, decision intelligence, what's next in analytics. And we're going to share with you, I'm just going to share with you for a couple of minutes, tell you a little bit about what decision intelligence is, how we do it a little better than everybody else. And then I'm going to pass the ball over to my good friend Joe, and he's going to show you some interesting things that we do amazingly well. Joe, if you can hit that next slide. So certainly our world is changing, and it has changed in so many different capacities. And all organizations are seeing such an influx of data. There was a time I used to present a slide that said 90% of the world's data has changed in the last 2 years. I think that number is actually higher because of so many things that we're encapsulating and capturing and being able to blend with our existing data sources. Added to that, more and more people want to be data driven, right? Organizations want to be data driven. But there are some obstacles with that in achieving that. But more and more people want to start making better decisions and being more productive. And lastly, that you see right there is that while reports and dashboards are good, empowering the business to do even more with sophisticated analytics is even more empowering to make better decision makers throughout your entire organization. Next slide, Joe. If you think about your current BI ecosystem, it probably looks something like this. You know, you might have a data prep tool. You might have an analytics or BI solution or a few solutions in-house. And maybe, just maybe, you might be hoping to start doing some data science as well. But when you look at the BI ecosystem, they're usually disjointed. Sometimes there's a challenge in getting these talking to each other. And the cost can be quite high because now you're talking about 3 separate products and trying to get the insights that you're looking for. Certainly the challenges are around delayed time to insight. Poor experience certainly lead to poor adoption, and certainly the complexity of disjointed tools can be a challenge. Thank you, Joe, because where we're talking right now is about decision intelligence. Pyramid Analytics is a pioneer in decision intelligence. We have a platform, a browser-based platform that is unified, complete, super fast. And we're going to showcase that some of it to you as well. But what we've done is we've taken data prep, business analytics, and data science and combined them in one unified platform. All you need is a browser to access the platform and get you on your way and lead to the high performance. We're going to simplify complexity. And by removing the multiple tools that may be inside your organization today and just have one platform to meet the needs of everything, we're going to actually lower that TCO for you as well. Next slide, Joe. Our platform does 3 unique things. We're going to speed up insight. We're going to scale adoption to any user inside your organization. And we're going to simplify analytics for any analytics need in your organization. What we do with our platform is simple. We leverage any data inside your organization or even outside. We're going to leverage the ability of empowering any person in your organization from the C-suite to the front line in making more intelligent decisions and faster decisions than ever before, and then meet any analytics need that you could possibly have inside your organization. This slide, the one thing I want to point out to this slide is what you see down there underneath the diagram, Piranha, and that is our secret sauce. Our platform was built from the ground up just a few years ago. So our architecture is state-of-the-art, screaming fast, but the big secret sauce for us is accessing the data directly where it resides. We don't need to ingest it. And that's something that we're going to showcase for you as well. Next slide, Joe. Super stoked in being part of Pyramid Analytics. One, we announced last week our Series E funding. We have 120 million reasons why we're so excited. And if you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out. We've blasted all over the internet. You can read more about it. However, the other super exciting thing that we've got is the Gartner Critical Capabilities Report, which, as you know, is the companion document to the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Magic Quadrant focuses on the companies. The Gartner Critical Capabilities Report focuses on the product. Even Gartner is quoted as saying the best dot position in the Magic Quadrant doesn't equate to the best product. So check it out. We were ranked number 1 in augmented analytics. There's actually 4 use cases. You can see the other 3 there on the slide. We were the only vendor, get ready for this, that placed in the top 5 for all 4 use cases. So excited about this, and this is something that Joe's going to showcase for you shortly. Next slide, Joe. But Gartner's not the only one. Bark, we've been ranked number 1 in their BI Survey 22. Dresner Advisory Services ranked number 1 for self-service analytics and their wisdom of crowds. Analysts are recognizing the power of our decision intelligence platform, and this is what we want to share with you today. Next slide, Joe. The demo. So without further ado, you're going to see the great things that we can do around augmented analytics, AI, machine learning, automated insights, natural language processing. Joe, take it over.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. I'm really excited to share with you what we have today and the power of the Pyramid Analytics platform. Augmented analytics, pyramid, peanut butter and jelly. Just think about that as we go through this, right? They go hand in hand. Now, what I'm presenting to you is nothing new. It's nothing fancy. It's a dashboard. Every company out there, everyone listening to this, you got 20 of these. You got 100 of these. Some of our customers have upwards of multiple thousands of different dashboards within their organizations. What makes us different, and how are we empowering end users to get more out of these dashboards? Well, let's talk about first, what is behind this? If I look at these different elements and I come down here to my information, I can see I'm pulling data directly from Oracle. I'm pulling data directly from SQL Server. I'm pulling data directly from Snowflake. I am not single sourcing. I don't have to be encumbered by the prep and the work in order to bring all of these different sales, marketing, and whatever other financial and geographic systems I have within my organizations all together just so that I can get a complete view. No. All of that with the help of augmented analytics at the metadata, at the model level, all form a baseline for everything that can be built on top of your data and your different sources today. Now, let's jump in here. One of the things that's going to be important to note is we're looking at multiple source systems, but they're all going to interact together, right? They're all going to be able to provide that context across those multiple sources, and you're not having to map, you're not having to do any of that work potentially for all of these source systems, right? So that is a great start. Second, let's talk about what an end user inside of here can do. There's a number of different things. One, I see an anomaly. What am I going to do? I want to come in here and I want to immediately start building alerts. This is bad. If it goes up by even a certain amount, that's bad. I want you to go in and check every day at 5 o'clock. I want you to send me a note at Pyramid. I want you to send me an email. I want you to send me a text message. I want you to send me a Teams or a Slack message. I want to know when something happens, and I want to be able to act on that, right? So that's going to be really important. I might want to be able to come in here and start conversations and anything else, and we'll get to some of these other ones in a second. I want to be able to come up here and say, hey, you know what? Manufacturing, I don't know why that one's high. I know why service is high, but not sure why manufacturing is high. I can click on it and see what's going on. But what I really want to do is I want to start talking about our first phase of explain. And explain is the ability to drive that context for your end users. The first thing it's going to explain to me is it's going to show me where this amount of forecasted data is mostly allocated. It's mostly allocated in my company size of 1 billion to 5 billion. Now, I immediately want to call your attention to one thing. This particular metric, this particular variable in the context equation is not in this chart. You're going to see people with cutting and cornered type of explain features within some of the competition out there. They're only going to explain based on the data and the information in that chart. That doesn't do you any good. We need that augmented analytics to take a holistic approach. I want to understand everything that might have an impact on that particular manufacturing metric. I want you to not just show me charts and reports. I want you to be able to explain to me what's going on. I want you to explain certain metrics. I want you to help me understand the influencers that are affecting this particular metric. And I don't want you to explain them with, extremely complex mathematical terms. I simply want you to lay it out to me. What's impacting it? How can I change that? Right? And I want to be able to see other factors that might be affecting that. So we have this beautiful, I guess I call it an eyeball gauge, where I can see, hey, you know what? The number of employees, if it's under 71,000, that's affecting this manufacturing metric, right? Certain days, dates of the week, that is affecting it. And I can actually see some forecasting that the augmented analytics are doing for me, as well as providing this context as it changes as I click on each one. Maybe a certain time of the year. These are going to be different things. And it's going to forecast out that metric over time based on these influencers. So right there, without further ado, we could stop here and say augmented analytics within inside Pyramid Analytics is going to take your end user's experience to the next level. You're going to gain insights that you never would have gotten by looking at a dashboard, right? And so that is going to be very, very helpful and impactful. We're going to go a step further, though. One of my favorite aspects of the technology as well is, I am someone who likes to build content, and I deliver that content out to end users. But, what looks good to me and what I interpret isn't always what people are able to consume. This bubble chart is a perfect example. I don't really know what this is actually supposed to convey. I see two distinct groups, definitely based on sizing. Things are different. I'm looking at my lead sources, my forecasted amounts, company revenue, things like that. But what am I supposed to understand here? What am I supposed to take from this chart so that I can make better decisions? I don't know. Right? And what does that mean? I'm on to the next one. And I can see other things, right? I'm missing key aspects. And what is going to help drive this is Pyramid's augmented smart insights capability. I click on one button. And by the way, this button on all of our different pieces of content coming from all the different sources. I have some light facts here, some basic facts. Looking at averages, I'm looking at different things with my metrics that happen to be presented in this visual. Some Pareto, which is my top 5, my bottom 5 from a ranking perspective based on these different metrics. Some relationships in the data, and even some trends, positive, negative trends. That's going to be good for me to understand. And I can pull some information out of that I know in no way, shape, or form could have pulled out just by looking at this visual. Let's go a little bit more advanced. I have a little bit more advanced basic facts, Pareto, relationships, trends, and now I have outliers. These outliers right here, if I really take a look at those, there is no way I would have been able to pull those out of simply looking at this chart, right? I needed some type of augmented intelligence. I needed some type of platform to pull that out and say, hey, instead of looking at millions and millions and millions of rows of data, let me just tell you what those outliers are. Now, I've looked at this chart and I can pull that information out and I understand, okay, here's something I need to focus on. Here's something I need to work on and address within my data, right? Without this, what am I doing? I'm making incomplete decisions without those types of smart insights. Now, I want to go one step further. I can go as far as doing categorical as well. Categorical is actually going to look at my different lead sources inside of here, and it's going to start ranking them. It's going to rank all of my different metrics by those lead sources. I can see that conferences we're struggling with, right? It's ranked pretty low or pretty high, I guess, whichever way you look at it, for my different metrics, how much we're bringing in, how long we're spending on deals that come from there. Direct mail is not great. We're attracting the right companies, but we don't have a good message simply based on those rankings. Email is the same way. It's middle of the line. Events, we're doing decent, but we're not attracting the right companies. So we're going to the wrong events potentially. Information requests, we're actually doing really well. We're not maybe targeting our best companies, but we're driving a lot of revenue from the information requests. So that's great news. And then from a sales perspective, our sales team's kicking butt. They're, finding the right companies. They're driving revenue as needed. So the point is I just pulled out a lot of information, a lot of context that, again, I never would have been able to pull out and understand without that augmented intelligence from Pyramid. I can hover over, I can see stuff, but none of that was going to be surfaced up to me if I was with another tool or leveraging, again, these simple dashboards that you have simple interactions with. Now, one of the great things about Pyramid is that once I have that and I say, okay, I don't like this visual. Can you change to a grid for me, please? And guess what it's going to do? It's going to do that for me. I want to be able to come in here and say, you know what? Let's just remove my lead sources. And it's going to pop up with that because it knows it's in the report. So now we're down to here. I could change this again. I could ask it to explain. I could add. I could swap. I could drill down onto. I can add in complex filters. A lot of things we can do within that natural language querying chatbot. That's going to be for another session, for another day, because there's a ton of power there. But what I want to finish on with everyone here today is this. Let's just say this is now my report. And this report is something that we see a lot. It's just a basic summary report, nothing too crazy. My needs go well beyond the summary report that someone provided to me. So what do? Maybe I have some hierarchies that I can drill down. Well, I don't like hierarchies because those hierarchies are restricted to some path that someone else set up for me. I want to be able to make changes to this. Well, I don't have a pro license, so I can't change it. I don't have time to put it into a queue, so I don't want to do that. I'm stuck if I was in any other platform or tool other than Pyramid. So here's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to come in here and say, you know what? I actually want to swap this with my company sizes. Oop, new question just answered. Right? I want to be able to add in maybe my industries. That's going to be great for me to understand. I want to be able to add in some other metric that I have access to. I want to now be able to say, let's dice. And now I don't want to dice down a geographic, a time-based hierarchy that someone set up for me. I want to go from my company sizes all the way to my quarters, right? From my quarters, I want to jump all the way over into my different campaigns. I want to go from those campaigns and I want to dice and I want to drill down into my actual opportunity stages. And I want to go from there and say, okay, who is the one deal we got that was this size of company at this period of time from this main campaign? There we go. University of Utah, thank you very much. All right. As an end user, I was able to do all of this on my own without having to enlist the help of an analyst or a pro version of the tool that I don't have time to learn, right? That level of flexibility partnered with the augmented analytics give me the ability to have Pyramid surface up to me what I should be understanding from my data, and then to immediately go and act on that data and uncover and make changes and address the items that need to be addressed within my platform. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Chris. Thank you so much for the time today. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was impactful. And if you have any questions about augmented analytics, it goes well beyond what you saw today. Would love to talk to you more about it and show you what we have to offer.
Joe, the switchboard is lit up, and I'd like to think it's because of my bow tie, but it's your demo. Way to go. That was incredible, and I've got some questions for you.
Excellent. Let's go.
First one, how many people does it take to build what you just demonstrated?
Yeah, that's a great question. So because we are a decision intelligence platform, we do not have a group of people that are prepping data in, let's say, Alteryx. We don't have another group of people who are, doing machine learning up in another, tool. We don't have yet another group who's just handling the BI and analytics side of things in, say, a Tableau or Adomo or something like that. We don't have yet another group that is worried about how we're actually going to get those insights out to our end users. we are a single platform, which means that to do all of those things in one single interface takes one person, right? One person with the understanding of what the data is and what they really want to get out of it and who do they want to deliver it to. Hopefully that was
Outstanding.
helpful.
Outstanding. Here's another one for you. And it was just at that last part of your demo. Is there an advanced license needed for add, swap, and dice?
Great question. So if we go back and look at that really quick, everything that we've seen and that you saw inside of here can be turned on or turned off. The answer to your question is no, right? Everything you saw me just do is what we consider a viewer type license, an end consumer type of license. None of the add, dice, and swap or the augmented or the smart insights, anything like that requires anything more than someone with a curious mind.
Love it. Love it. Here's another one for you. Is there a desktop version of your product that's required?
There is not. So as we mentioned, everything we do is driven by a server deployed platform that is accessible through any web browser. So we've seen the problems, we've seen the challenges, the data quality issues, and the collaboration concerns when you have people working in a siloed fashion on their individual desktops. We decided from the beginning that we didn't want to be in that business. We don't want to, put our customers through that type of experience. Let's have everything centrally available, centrally managed, and centrally governed by your teams.
Here's a good question. This is somebody being very blunt. We have one of your competitors' products, and they too said that they can access data directly. But at the end of the day, the only way that we can use their product is to ingest the data. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We hear that a lot, which is why we've been growing in popularity so much lately. So what I showed you that I was here and I was directly accessing Oracle, Snowflake, SQL, all on one single page. I meant it. We have the ability to do multi-source direct data querying in these presentations. Now that's a very, a big mouthful right there. But what that means is that we do not require ingestion, right? We do not require you to move your data. Leverage the power of those databases. We can get into this at a different time as well, but the way we query is fundamentally different in that we pass the where conditions to the actual databases through that direct query so that one, we're more efficient and we're only pulling back the data that we need. But two, it allows us to do those types of processes without actually having to move the data and bring it into our environment. Love to talk to you about that customer and how we can make your life easier.
Here's the last question that I'm going to ask you. It's funny, as you were talking, it just came in regarding data. We have SAP BW, and we're struggling to find a robust analytical solution. Do you guys interface with SAP BW?
Yes, we do. SAP BW, SAP HANA as well. And so we have a number of differentiators and a number of different capabilities to leverage hierarchies, to leverage formats, to leverage all the different things that seemingly you thought you could only get out of an SAP native analytics tool, right? We can do that inside of Pyramid. We're actually going to be showing at the SAP Insider in July. We're going to be showcasing all of this great partnership and capability with our SAP databases. So I recommend that you definitely go visit that event. But would love to talk to you more about that. We have a very strong partnership, and we can do a lot of things that our competition can't. We've spent the time, we've spent the money, we've spent the effort to make SAP easier to work with.
Awesome, Joe. That's going to wrap up the questions. Joe, if you can hit that next slide,
Yeah.
we want to give a little takeaway. We're going to give away some things. So I wanted to make this simple, guys and gals. We want you to choose your own adventure. If we've gotten your curiosity piqued and you'd like more information about the power of Pyramid's decision intelligence platform, if you'd like to see a demo, If you would like to get a copy of the Gartner Critical Capabilities Report or any other analyst reports that we mentioned, including BARC, including Dresner Advisory Services, we would love to share with you that information. Or if you'd like to talk to Joe personally, it's kind of like the Santa hotline. He'd love to chat with you, and I would too. But visit us on the web at www.pyramidanalytics.com. We will take you on that journey and adventure, and we would love to talk with you more. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.